Yes, there is God. A group of 15 soldiers led by a major was on their way to the Himalayas. In the extreme cold, the major thought that if he could get a cup of tea here, he would get the strength to move forward. But it was night time and there was no settlement nearby. After climbing for about an hour, he saw a dilapidated tea shop. But unfortunately, it was locked. Due to the intensity of hunger and fatigue, on the insistence of the soldiers, the Major Sahib agreed to break the lock of the shop. Well, when the lock was broken, they found all the items for making tea inside. The soldiers made tea and relieved themselves by eating biscuits, etc., kept there. After recovering from fatigue, everyone started preparing to move forward, but Major Sahab was feeling guilty for breaking the lock of the shop like a thief. He took out a 1,000 rupee note from his purse and kept it under the sugar box, and after getting the shop shutter closed properly, he moved forward. At the end of 3 months, all the 15 soldiers of this contingent were returning safely from the same route under the leadership of their major. On the way, seeing the same tea shop open, they stopped there to rest. The owner of that shop was an old tea seller who got happy to see so many customers at once and started making tea for them. While sipping tea and biscuits, they started asking the old tea seller about his life experiences, especially. The old man kept telling them many stories about returning the shop in such a rugged place and also kept thanking God. Just then a young man said, Baba, you believe in God so much? If God really exists, then why has He kept you in such a bad condition? Baba said, No, sir, we don't say this about God. God exists and He really exists. I have seen Him. On hearing the last sentence, all the young men started looking at the old man with curiosity. The old man said, Sir, I was in a lot of trouble. One day my only son was caught by terrorists. They beat him a lot, but he didn't have any information, so they beat him up and left him. I closed the shop and took him to the hospital. I was in a lot of trouble, sir, and due to fear of terrorists, no one even gave me a loan. I did not even have money for medicines and I didn't see any hope. That night, sir, I cried a lot and I prayed to God and asked for help. And sir, that night God Himself came to my shop. When I reached my shop in the morning and saw the lock broken, I felt that whatever little I had was also looted. When I entered the shop, I saw a note of 1,000 rupees which God had kept for me under the sugar box. Sir, I may not be able to express what the value of a 1,000 rupee note was for me that day, but there is God, sir. There is God. The old man muttered to himself again. The confidence of God's existence was clearly shining in his eyes. On hearing this, there was silence. 15 pairs of eyes were looking at the Major, who had a clear order for him to keep quiet. Major Sahab got up, paid the bill for the tea, hugged the old tea seller and said, Yes, Baba, you are right. God does exist. And your tea was also excellent. And that day, those 15 pairs of eyes witnessed the rare sight of tears shining in the Major's eye for the first time. And the truth is that God may make us someone's helper and send us somewhere. You yourself don't know this. That's why we should try in life that we can help someone in some good work